you so much for having me here on the White House complex. First question is about the Derek Chauvin trial. We are likely to get a verdict soon. What do you hope that verdict will be?
Well, I mean, the jury is obviously deliberating right now. You know, Dan, I have to tell you, 9 minutes and 29 seconds, right? We all watched that video. Many of us watched it multiple times. And people are in pain over what we all saw in that video. And in fact, it was in large part because of that case that, together with my then colleagues, Cory Booker in particular, and then on the House side, Karen Bass, that we wrote the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And I really do hope that the United States Senate, the House has passed it, that the United States Senate will take it on and have the courage to take it on, because there is no question that we've got to put an end to these moments where the public questions whether there's going to be accountability, questions whether there's going to be the kind of fairness that we should all expect and deserve in all of our lives, and in particular as it relates to people of color, with a particular emphasis on Black and brown men in the criminal justice system as it relates to policing.
Well, I want to ask you about police reform in a minute, but specifically on this trial, President Biden said that he's praying for the right verdict and that the evidence is overwhelming, making the point that the jury is sequestered. He doesn't know they don't know what he thinks. Do you agree with that? What do you think?
I think we all want justice.
What is justice?
We'll see what the jury decides.
What do you think justice is?
I think that there needs to be a consequence and accountability for people who break the law. Period.
How worried are you about the potential for unrest?
Listen, I think that depending on what happens with this verdict, whatever happens, frankly, with this verdict, let's say there is a guilty verdict on the highest charge. It will not take away the pain of the Floyd family. It will not take away the pain of the communities, all communities, regardless of their color or geographic location, that felt sadness and anger in what they witnessed in that video. This verdict is but a piece of it, and it will not heal the pain that existed for generations, that has existed for generations among people who have experienced and firsthand witnessed what now a broader public is seeing because of smartphones and the ubiquity of our ability to videotape in real time what is happening in front of our faces. And that's just the reality of it. And that's why Congress needs to act. And that's why they should pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act.
This is really a moment in America.
Yeah.
Racial tensions, as you just mentioned, they are really palpable. Your experience, your life experience, is different from every one of your predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
How is that bringing itself to bear right here in the White House?
Well, I think that, first of all, you'll recall that when Joe Biden asked me to join him on the ticket, he did so with a sense of intentionality, of purpose, knowing that he and I may have very different life experiences, but we also have the same values and operate from the same principles. But it was something that I know he was very intentional about in terms of asking me to run with him and to serve with him, which is that I will bring a perspective that will contribute to the overall decisions that we make. He and I are in almost every meeting together, have made almost every decision together.
And how is that sort of manifesting itself right now as we prepare for what could happen in this country?
Well, I'm not going to talk about our private conversations, of course, but I can tell you that it is often the case that as I will ask his opinion about things, he will ask my opinion. And through that process, I think that we arrive at a good place. And ultimately, of course, he is the president and he makes the final decision.
Do you feel a special responsibility, given the fact that...
Listen, I carry a great weight of responsibility, knowing that there are so many people, again, the generations of women who fought for and imagined there would be a woman vice president or a woman on the ticket. And I think of that all the time in terms of the responsibility I have to hopefully make them proud. I carry a great sense of responsibility for all of the young girls and boys of color, those who identify in some way because maybe no one expected something of them, but they expect a lot of themselves, to do well and to do right and to do good. So yes, I carry a great sense of responsibility, if not of the seriousness of the responsibility, to be in this position and be a voice for those who have not traditionally been in the room.